Pirates of the Caribbean is making its way into the Sea of Thieves, and with that, it will surely bring an influx of new players to the game. My name is Cody Hughes, and as a fairly new Sea of Thieves player myself, I wanted to share my top 10 tips for beginners that I wish I knew before I started playing Sea of Thieves. This is also the first video I've done without a camera, so you're welcome. Let me know in the comments if you enjoy seeing less of my face. Tip number 1, character selection. At the beginning of the game, you will be presented with randomly generated pirates to select from. It's important to note that the hitboxes are all the same for every shape and size pirate. However, it is easier to hide if you are smaller. Don't get caught up on the pirate's hairstyle or clothing. You will be able to change their hairstyle, their hair color, tattoos, clothing, etc. all that later in the game. Before making your selection, make sure you're happy with your pirate, otherwise you will need to purchase pirate potion with real dollars to change your appearance without losing your character's progress in the game. Tip number 2, stock your ship before you sail. If you're setting out on the Sea of Thieves, you will want to have supplies. The cheapest way of doing this is to loot barrels on whichever outpost you spawn into when you start the game. You can buy supply boxes from merchants, but let's be honest, you've got your eye on a sweet eye patch you want to save up for and don't want to spend the coin. Tip number 3, know thy ship. Before you set sail, it's going to be important for you to have a basic understanding of where supplies are and how to control your ship using the wheel, setting the sail's length and angle, and managing the anchor. Tip number 4, turn off your lights. The lights on your ship will only make it easier for a super sweaty PvP player to spot you for an attack. Even if you aren't looking to avoid PvP action while you learn, it's better to turn these lights off so you're not as noticeable to enemy ships. Good players will still be able to spot you, but you don't have to make it easy for them. Tip number 5, top deck navigation. When I first started, I used to run down to the captain's quarters to go check the map to see if I was on course. You can simply go look down from the stern to see the map clearly on the sloop, and in bigger boats like the galleon or brigantine, you can still see the map through the grates on the top deck. Tip number 6, flocks of birds equals loot. Floating or sunken loot can be found under a flock of birds in the Sea of Thieves. However, there can also be gunpowder barrels in the mix, so do not sail directly at the floating loot or you could blow up your ship by running into those. That was totally done on purpose to show you what not to do. I sacrificed my ship for training purposes only. That was 100% planned. Moving on, stay off to the sides of the loot and bring them in either by swimming out to them or with a harpoon. With sunken treasure, I've found that you can just drop items and they will float to the surface for easy pickup with a harpoon, but this isn't always the case, so just make sure you keep track of your loot when you're trying this. Tip number 7, firefighting efficiency. Normally, when your ship is on fire, you can just grab your bucket and water and throw it onto the fire. But if you are also on fire, don't just jump off the deck into the sea. You can throw a bucket of water on yourself and extinguish the flames on the ship at the same time using right click or whatever your secondary use is mapped to. Tip number 8, mermaids. If you've fallen off of your boat while it's moving at full speed, don't panic. A mermaid will appear in the water to take you back to your ship. Wow, I was almost dinner right there. Just remember that the further away you are from your ship, the faster a mermaid will appear. So if you fall off of your boat, start swimming in the opposite direction to get back to your boat faster via mermaid. Tip number 9, swimming faster with loot. When you are carrying loot in the water, you are unable to sprint swim, and this can be a little bit annoying, especially if you have a shark coming after you. And one trick I've learned to swim faster with loot in hand is while you are swimming forward, you want to drop, sprint, pick up, and repeat. On PC, this would be X, Shift, and F. Tip number 10, performing the sword lunge jump. This is a move that will also help you out in PvP, but as a new player, I primarily use this to get a speed boost from land to water or clearing large gaps on land. With your sword drawn, block using secondary use button, do your lunge by holding the primary use button, and jump just after your lunge. That's all I got for you today, guys. I hope this helps you get started on the right peg in Sea of Thieves. If you'd like to watch me play this game live or play this game with me, I stream both here on YouTube and Twitch, so be sure to stop by and say hello. Thanks for watching. As always, take care of yourself, take care of each other, and I will see you soon.